Okay, so I forgot your name. What's your name?
Mr. Amar.
Amar. Okay, hi Amar. My name is Saurav. I'm a founder of Coding OT Systems. Generally, I'm running a edtech platform where students come on our platform, sign up, purchase our course, and stream our videos to learn codings. So we have a job opening for product manager. Also, we have opening for full stack developer in Mon technology. So which role you are looking for?
I'm looking for a MERN stack as a full stack developer.
Okay, how much experience do you have?
I have total 4 years of experience as a full stack developer.
Hmm. Currently, you are working in a company right now or not?
Yes, I'm working.
You are working. So your notice period?
Notice period about 1 month.
1 month. Okay.
Yes.
So your current CTC, Amar?
Total 7.6 LPA right now.
7.6 LPA.
Yes,
And how many years of experience do you have?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. In Mon technology, right? Okay. Tell me something about your Mon technology. Which skills you are using in Mon right now?
Okay. I have total 4 year experience as a full stack development. So
Mm-hmm.
I am using MERN stack for developing web developer as like MERN for MongoDB as a database, and just like using Postgres as MongoDB as a database, and React for handling UI part, and Express for routing, and in REST APIs, and Node for backend. And additionally, I using DevOps part like Docker, Kubernetes, and AWS for hosting. This type of technology I just using in my current role of.
Okay. So you have cloud experience also, right?
Yes, yes,
So have you
yes,
deployed any website on AWS cloud related to Mon stack?
yes, 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 yes.
Which type of website you have deployed before?
Just I've deployed three or four website like CRMS and ERP based, and Score Evolution site and healthcare.
Okay. So tell me something about your recent project.
Yeah, recently I'm working on AI-based recruitment system, like an HR will recruit the candidate using AI. Right now, I'm just working on that, and technology I'm using MERN stack for UI part. I just working on micro front end, React, and microservice using Node.js and Express.js. And for database, I just using Postgres, and for DevOps parts, for using S3 and Glacier for data backup, RDS for database. This type of technology I'm using in current project.
Okay. So you are familiar with relational and non-relational database both, right?
Both. Yes, yes.
Okay. So do you have experience in aggregation pipeline?
Yeah, I have experience on aggregate pipeline.
Okay. Which type of problem we can solve with the help of aggregation pipeline in MongoDB?
Aggregation pipeline is just solve the problem like when just we have to working as populations and many type of database relation, like one collection to another collection. I want data from that another collection and another table. Then we can use aggregate and filter and likely very type of problem we can solve using aggregation pipeline.
Okay. Okay. So hmm, how much you expecting, Amar?
Expecting about 10 LP.
10 LPA.
Yes.
Okay. So may I know the reason why you want to left your previous job? Why you want to leave the previous job?
According to my knowledge and work experience and workload, that previous company doesn't pay me for according to my experience and my knowledge. And I just convinced the HR to increase my salary, but she didn't respond anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason to switch the company.
Okay, so you are familiar with generative AI? I mean to say that Open AP, Open AI,
Yes, yes, I
REST
am familiar
API.
with that. Yes,
Okay,
yes, I am familiar.
so which type of work you have done before with the help of generative API?
Just sending the email to generate the subjects and that's body using yeah, generative AI. And recently, I am working for HR requirement project. Then there is a section that JD builder. Then here I am using generative AI to generate the JD section and write the prompt, and they can generate our JD completely.
Okay, so any experience with video streaming engine development?
I have don't any experience in video streaming, but I can do.
You can build video streaming engine.
Yes, yes.
Okay, could you please explain the system design of video streaming engine? How we can maintain the servers of video streaming? If millions
Like
of user watching, concurrent users watching our videos at same time, how you can handle your servers with the help of AWS or any cloud system architecture?
yeah. Okay, okay. So we just deployed on our site on AWS, and AWS is service that load balancer. We can use load balancer to balance our load at the same time,
Mhm.
and just like for streaming. And when the part of processing, we can use ECS. That's service of Amazon. So they can deploy our code pipeline to another different Docker system. So we can manage from AWS.
Okay, okay. So how we can process our video in chunks, because we are going to build video streaming engine. We cannot stream MP4 video. We have to apply HLS streaming systems or dash streaming systems. So do you have any idea about HLS or dash?
No, right now I don't experience on
Okay,
and
okay,
adding
great.
features.
Okay.
Yes.
So, hmm, if we have tons of videos, so where you can store? We have 3000 terabyte of videos where you can store our videos to stream.
On cloud, use S3 buckets.
Okay, using S3 bucket, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is Node.js, Amar?
Not just the runtime of not just in ru- not just
Okay,
the runtime.
okay,
What is it?
relax, relax. What is Node.js, Amar?
Not just the runtime environment of JavaScript that can run in our server, and it's
Mhm.
provide a runtime environment to working our JavaScript to maintain APIs and command the server.
How many experience you have in JavaScript?
Total 4 years.
In Node.js?
Yes, also.
In Node.js also 4 years of experience. And in MongoDB?
MongoDB also 4 years.
How is this possible, Amar?
Yeah, because I
Recently,
am a full stack developer.
okay,
So a project has both and both three work at the same time, like database, back end, and front end.
okay.
So this can be possible.
And what about SEO? Do you have experience in SEO?
SEO, no, sir.
SEO, search engine optimization. How we can optimize our website for search engine friendly in React
Yeah, I have experience on that. Mainly, I don't have experience on SEO, but I can SEO using Next.js.
using Next.js. Okay, okay. So you are familiar with Next.js or not?
Yes, also.
Okay. What is Next.js?
Next.js is a framework of React.js. With the help of Next.js, we can build our interactive website. That's mainly used for front-end part, but
Mhm.
Next.js also support backend.
Okay. So
Yes.
which type of backend code we will write in Next.js?
Node.js code also we can write on Next.js.
Okay. So can we build REST API in Next.js or not?
Yes, also.
Also.
Build.
So is this possible to use Express.js in Next.js?
Yes, we can use.
What is middleware, Amar?
A middleware is a function that we can use middleware for
Mhm.
a request, and we can use for request and response. That when we use middleware, we can work on our request before the response, before send the response.
Okay.
Yeah.
So could you please explain some use cases of middleware in
Yeah.
Node.js?
Yes. For authentication,
Okay.
when we authenticate the user, we can try the logics or using middleware that can be that authenticate or not, this user is valid or not. Then
Mhm.
it's valid, then we can pass the request and working on that.
Okay. So what is the role of next function in Express middleware?
Uh, Express middleware is next function that we can use to pass the request.
Okay. So you are familiar with MVC architecture?
Yes.
Okay. So what is MVC?
MVC stands for model view controller. We can write the code model and view and controller in the our backend system.
Which type of code you will write in model, in view, and in
Model,
controller?
yeah. Model we just make the schema for database,
Mm.
and controller I total logics of this control particular that CRUD of, type, and any type of logics we can write on controller. And view has and view has a template like EJS, Pug, and this type.
Okay. How we can build a REST API in Node.js?
With the help of Express, we can build REST API.
Mm. What is the importance of status code?
The status code tell the browser that our code is execute. That many status code has a different type of meaning. Like 200, that's our all request will be successful, and 401, that's our request is unauthorized. Unauthorized user can access to the API, and browser can understand using a status code, not the any text format.
Okay. Uh, which status code you can use for we can use for duplicate entry in database if you want to throw the
409
error
is
of duplicate entry.
yes, 409 is duplicate entry.
And what about failed?
Failed for 405, that method
40.
not allowed.
Method not allowed. Generally we are using for uh, if get method is not available in our server, then we can use 405. For failed
Yes,
we have to use 424. Okay. So why we use 500 status code?
500 indicate internal server error.
Internal server error. Okay. What is the importance of exception handling?
Exception handling, with the help of exception handling, we can find actual error, like what the error in our runtime in of Node.js, we can track.
Okay. What does MongoDB store data and what is a document in MongoDB?
MongoDB store data in the form of JSON like JSON format, and the document is like table.
Okay. So tell me some advantage of MongoDB.
MongoDB is NoSQL database, and MongoDB is likely very fast database. And when we write the code for MongoDB and store data, it's just like familiar with JavaScript, and all syntax and all structure will very familiar to JavaScript. And we can store data as a form of JSON
Mhm.
and JSON array, and at the same time, and their schema is flexible. We can we can increase and decrease our schemas columns.
Okay. So how do you protect your routes using authentication in Express.js?
With the help of middleware, we can protect our route and authentication using JWT. We can apply JWT authentication.
Okay. So what is JWT?
JWT is JSON Web Token,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a electronic token that
Mm-hmm.
they it can store our data, and it has a particular expiration time. it will help to
Mhm.
protect our all data.
Okay. Explain the system design of login.
Login.
Yeah.
Okay. For the login, first we have to use our front end and back end. Front end for React.js and back end for Node.js,
Mm-hmm.
and it has making a model. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
we using PostgreSQL, and first user can sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Then user model, name, email, and phone number and password field I have. Then we can write the code for logic that user can sign up, and when user sign up, their password is in encrypted format using bcrypt library, and after that we just make the code for login, like controller. Then user login, we can just match the email found or not. If not found,
Mm-hmm.
we can throw the error. If found, then um, process next step and match the password what we type using bcrypt dot compare, and that we can allow the user login.
Okay. Which type of token you will return after user has successfully authenticated from our server?
mm, JWT token we can return.
Which token you will return? Generally,
Access token.
access token. Okay. Is there any more token we have to return from server?
We have from two, access token and refresh token both.
So what are the differences between these two tokens?
Yeah, access token, refresh token and access token both are same, but refresh token play the role when user want to auto sign in. Then
Mhm.
refresh token can log in with the help of refresh token.
Mm. So what is the expiration time of access token generally you are using for development?
Access token has less expiry time.
Okay, okay. So how much?
Mm, 15 to 10 minutes.
And what about refresh token?
Refresh token has like 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. So you are familiar with React also, right?
Yes,
Mm. How much experience in React?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. So which type of application you have built before in React.js?
All application that I mentioned about CRMS, HR recruitment system,
Mm-hmm.
and ERP and healthcare, all projects we have done with the help of Next.js, React.js, and Node.js.
Okay. What
Yes.
is virtual DOM in React?
Virtual DOM is copy of actual DOM.
Okay. So what is the full form of DOM?
Document object model.
What is it?
And that browser that as like a browser support document object model.
Mm-hmm.
When the write when I write the code and it will be execute, then it play the role.
Okay. What are promises in JavaScript?
Promise is cleaner way to write the write async. Promise is cleaner way to write code to manage to 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
Promise is cleaner way to write asynchronous code.
Mm-hmm.
That with the help of promise, we can write asynchronous code that promise resolve the code and this type.
Okay. How many states of promise?
Mm, two state, resolve or reject, and one is play pending.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
How do you manage environment variables in Node.js?
We can use environment variable like .env.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Dot
a node
env.
all. Yes, yes. A node already support node environment itself.
Okay. So what is node underscore env?
Node underscore env is runtime environment of Node.js, and it's manage environment actually with the help of Node.js runtime.
Mm. What are the
That's
main
plays role. What, sir?
Okay, okay, okay. Continue.
Okay. That's play the role when we set up the Docker Compose. Then we can use Node environment to tell our code's logic to we are
Mm.
on the production, we are on the development.
Okay, do you have some experience in UI frameworks?
Yes, I have experience on material UI and design, and recently SAT CN.
Shared scene. Okay. Which one is better?
Popular is material UI. According to me, SAT CN is better for UI. According to me.
Okay. May I know the reason?
Reason is that SAT CN is more customizable.
Okay. Okay. So what is event loop in Node.js, Shamad?
Event loop is a fundamental concept in Node.js that with the help of event loop, we can manage asynchronous tasks in Node.js.
Mm. How can we optimize database operations?
We can optimize database operation using we can just set the indexing for our table and indexing. Yes, indexing is enough.
Okay. You don't have any catching library experience like Redis, Memcached,
Experience about Redis.
Redis. Okay. How much experience do you have in Redis?
About 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Which type of problem solved by the Redis?
Yes, Redis can solve many problems. Like Redis behavior to catch the data. When we request the API on backend side, and we when we want that data continuously, same data, we can
Mhm.
catch on Redis, then return the same data as alternatively. And also Redis can solve one more problem. When we want to send OTP and didn't want to make the changes in our model and database
Mhm.
schema, then we can use Redis here send the OTP
Mhm.
and match using catch data of Redis.
Okay. Any experience in PubSub architecture in Redis?
No, sir.
Okay. So, what are callbacks in Node.js?
Yeah, callback is the function in Node.js that it can be executed in the main function when executing. Then callback is be execute.
Oh,
When our main function will execute, then after that our callback will execute.
okay. Okay. Is there any asynchronous function available in Node.js or JavaScript?
Yes, set timeout.
Okay. Any other one?
Set timeout, set immediate, and process dot next tick.
Hmm. Okay. I'm giving you some problem statement. If we have some asynchronous code, but we want to make it synchronous, so is this possible in JavaScript?
Mm, I have asynchronous code and I want to make it synchronous.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So I think you don't have experience. What is the differences between class and functional component in React.js?
Uh, yes, class and functional component. React.js support likely both class and functional component, and functional component is based on state, totally state based,
Mhm.
and class based component is native support in React.js, and it's totally on the OOPS concept.
Okay. Generally, version in which version we use a class-based component?
About React old version we can use React class component,
Okay.
but
So,
React
hmm.
yes,
What is higher order component?
higher order component in React JS like uh, provide
Like auth guard,
yes, yes, yes,
auth guard. Yeah.
yes.
So you have experienced in Docker?
Yes, I have experience on Docker.
Okay. Why we use Docker?
We we can use Docker for many reasons, and Docker is mainly used for to containerize our application. With the help of Docker, we can host it on any server like Linux, Windows, Mac, any we can use Docker.
Okay.
Yes.
So how can you automate the process of continuous deployment on AWS server?
Yeah, with the help of CI/CD pipeline.
Okay.
Firstly, we just write the code for YML file for
Mhm.
CI/CD pipeline and connect for GitHub Actions and GitLab and Bitbucket. So Docker play here role to
Mm.
Dockerize our whole application and make the container and image and deploy to the EC2, and we can run our whole project.
Okay. Do you know something about Route 53 in AWS?
Yes, yes.
Tell me something about it.
Yeah. RAW service in AWS, it can provide domain and hosting that connect RAW using our EC2, and
Mhm.
we can propagate our sites using EC2 RAW.
What is
Like
closure?
hosting. What's that?
What is closure?
Closure in closure in the closure is the closure is the function of JavaScript. With the help of closure remember its surrounding functions.
Okay. How we can handle file uploads in Node.js?
With the help of Multer library.
Multer.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. What are chunks, Amar?
Chunks is the packet of data, like video data and audio data is the called chunks. A small part of data.
Okay. Have you deployed any website on Warshell?
Yes.
Okay. So what are age functions?
Is functions universal.
Yeah. Generally we write age functions in XJS, and that functions are executed by Warshell servers when we will deploy our website on Warshell. I think you don't have any experience about age function, right?
I don't have experience. I just deploy using GitHub repository.
Okay. So what is IAM role in AWS cloud?
IAM role is used for to define the role for particular user, which is to take the access or not.
Hmm. And what
Yes.
about course? What is course, Amar?
Course is when mainly used for to just we make the code in backend, make the APIs, and
Mhm.
which who can want to access my API, that it can block the external code. And when we pass asterisk as here or domain name for
Mhm.
frontend, it can be accessed using
Mhm.
frontend and anyone.
Okay. Any
Course is
different? Okay, great. Any differences between authorization and authentication?
authorization and authentication.
Yeah.
Authentication, we can say that whole process,
Mm-hmm.
like user can sign up and user can log in with their password and email. It can call authentication.
Okay.
Yes.
What are some HTTP methods, HTTP request method in REST API development?
Mm, 2000, 2001,
No, 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 no.
and
I am asking about
okay,
HTTP
okay,
request
okay,
method.
okay. Get, post, put, delete,
Okay.
and patch. Yes.
Patch. Okay. Explain the use cases of that functions.
Okay, get is mainly used for retrieve data from our server and database,
Mm-hmm.
and post to some insert in database, and put for update,
Mm-hmm.
and delete for delete our data from database, and
Yeah.
patch for update particular things of our data, not replace anything. It can update particular thing what we want.
So, tell me one thing, Amar. What are the common ways to improve performance and scalability of our Node.js code or Node.js server?
Mm, yes,
How
we
can we?
can.
Okay, okay. Tell.
Yes, we can optimize our like we just write maintainable code and structurable code, and also using Node.js.
Okay,
As you
how
said,
tell me one thing. How can you optimize the Node.js server?
mm,
How can you optimize the Node.js server? So you have a caching experience in Redis. You can use that for optimizing our servers. We can
yes,
write maintainable code, clean code.
yes,
Okay. So we can use load balancers, target groups on AWS cloud to scale our server. These are the
and
terms.
clustering.
Yeah. We can also optimize database queries with the help of indexing, right?
Yes, yes.
Hmm. How Postgres SQL database are different from MongoDB?
MongoDB is NoSQL database, and Postgres is a relational database, and
Mhm.
there is many difference. MongoDB is schemaless, and Postgres is schema. Postgres
Okay.
has support schema, and MongoDB store data in JSON format, and
Mhm.
Postgres store data in row column format.
Row column format. Okay. Tabular format. You mean to say that? Okay. So MongoDB is a NoSQL or SQL database.
NoSQL database.
NoSQL database. And what about a PostgreSQL?
This is SQL database. We can say relational database.
Okay. Hmm. What are the differences between var, let, const?
Yeah, wireless const is the concept in our React.js, and
Mhm.
it is mainly used for variable. Okay,
Mhm.
var is function scope, and let is also var is used for global scope, and let is function scope, and const is also function scope. And const cannot be updated and assigned say another time another value, and
Mhm.
let can be assigned. Let and where can be assigned.
Okay. So, do you have experience in deployment Node.js application on AWS cloud?
Yes, I have experience to deploy a Node.js application on cloud.
Okay, which services y- you use for deployment for Node.js application?
EC2.
EC2, only EC2 or anything
Uh,
else?
for AWS, we can
Mhm.
use EC2, and for database RDS.
RDS,
And
okay.
yes,
Okay, and what about Route 53?
you can use Route 53, but I
Mhm.
have a hostinger and a GoDaddy for domain. We can just indicate on that.
Okay.
Yes.
Which type of port we have to allow when we're deploying our Node application on EC2 machine?
EC2 80
Okay,
and 443.
443.
Yes, for Postgres database 45432.
Okay, and a port for MongoDB?
Mm, 2710
Okay, okay,
27017.
great. And what about SSH?
SSH for authentication in our EC2. With the help of SSH, we can authenticate and log in.
Okay, name some SSH software you are using for EC2.
Putty,
Putty. Okay, and for file handling?
FileZilla.
FileZilla. Okay. Is there any differences between REST API and microservice?
There, yeah, different. We can say that, but microservice is the architecture, and REST API is not architecture. We can say monolith and microservice. We can compare. REST API is just we can say as a pattern.
Mm. You are familiar with monorepo architecture?
Sorry, sir.
Are you familiar with monorepo architecture or not?
No, sir. I am familiar only with microservice and
Mhm.
monolith.
Okay. What about socket, Amar? Any experience
Yes,
in socket?
yes, yes. I have experience on socket.
Okay.
Socket is generally used for to transmit data
Mhm.
two way. Like web socket, we can transmit client to server and server to client.
Okay. Which type of application we can build with the help of socket.io?
Yeah, real world example, this application like WhatsApp
Mm-hmm.
chatting system,
Mm-hmm.
mainly using socket to chat client to
Mm-hmm.
another client. Yes.
Okay. An experience in web artistry?
Uh, no, I have no experience, but I start learning about web RTC. I have some knowledge about web RTC, but didn't experience on that.
Okay. What are your hobbies, Amar?
Hobbies is learning some new things, new skills, and listening musics, and try to making anything something new.
Okay. So where are you right now, Amar? Your current location?
Pune.
Pune. But our company is situated in Bangalore Electronic City Phase 1. Is it okay to come Bangalore to serve our company?
Yes, sir. No issue. Location doesn't matter for me.
Okay, so tell me again, what is your current CTC right now?
7.6 LP right now.
Is there any deduction source added to your CTC?
Yes, only PF deduct.
Only PF. Any medical insurance, any other
No,
facilities provided by the company? No.
no, no.
And how much you expecting, Amar?
About 10 LPs.
10 in pay. Is it negotiable?
No, sir.
No. Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Amar.
Thank you,
We
sir.
will inform you soon via your email. Thank you very much. Thank you. We will reach you soon. Okay. Thank you.